a match he played against Sulky. God, I love that PVZ. It was one of the best ones we've had in ASL so far. And then HyuN, you know, he used a strategy I wasn't surprised to see at all against Last, because Last is so strong. But let's see what his ZVP is looking like here.
Yeah, look, Movie's somebody who I've really enjoyed studying because he has his own openers for sure. He's got his own cool builds, and a lot of times he'll just dismantle his opponent with that build early on.
Yeah.
The last game we saw of him against Larva, it was not one of those builds, but he's got another chance to redeem himself. He certainly is not going to do that same strategy again. I'm expecting a more traditional PVZ here from Movie. From HyuN, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's really hard to say, but I mean, Hydras perhaps?
Could be. Let's find out. This is our 4th best of 1 in tonight's ASL.
ASL. Spell tassel without assel.
And our map is going to be on Circuit Breakers. Introducing our players in the bottom right. In the yellow, it is Movie. And in the upper right, in the red, our Zerg player, HyuN. HyuN's a guy we've actually gotten to know doing a lot of StarCraft 2 events overseas. Mm-hmm. His English is quite good. He speaks English well. Yeah. And he is a super charming guy, very motivated, very charismatic.
Mm-hmm. You could tell that by the interview as well.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of the Brood War guys have a good amount of charisma, in part because they're just older. They're more comfortable in their own skin.
As you get older, like...
kind of know yourself better.
Yeah, especially like if you play video games through a lot of your formative years, you're just not going to be quite as social as you will be as you get older. You know, like it slows that down a little bit sometimes if you're just practicing all the time.
We'll grow at different parts at different rates.
Yeah. Like I would definitely say that I was developmentally slightly behind where I should have been, you know, when I played nothing but StarCraft all day, every day for many, many years.
Okay, hold up. Is it going to be a gateway or a forge? A gateway. And the probe appears to be headed northbound. Mm-hmm. So,
diagonal bound.
Oh, diagonal bound. Okay, so this is one of the 2 big builds we see from Protoss. Now, I know there's a lot of different variations of like when you can make the gateway. Do you make 1 or 2? Mm-hmm. Or the other one is to go for a forge. And, of course, there's always a different order depending on the size of the map, what you suspect their opponent can do to you, what advantages do you want to get out of the build versus what disadvantages do you want to throw at them. But this build, especially in 2016, was quite popular. It's been toyed with in previous years, in the 19 years that StarCraft's been around, but I think it's never been played to such a degree of success as it has in 2016 especially. Now, I'm sorry, am I? No, I'm not crazy.
No,
he made his hatch at the what would be the 3rd base.
Yeah.
Which I almost had to do a double take.
Quite interesting that he's making it there. You know, he hadn't found where Movie was yet, so a few things jump to mind as this could throw off a scout that only checks into the natural. If there was like a possible cannon rush coming or something like that, it's going to throw him off as well. You get in there, you don't see a hatch, you might think like, oh god, it could be a Zergling rush.
Yeah, you might end up tricking the Zealots and turning around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is really cool.
Okay, both the drones actually going out towards the Zealots. Kind of funny, slowing down the Zealots so far. This is a hatchery first play, by the way, which is also probably part of why that hatchery is way the hell over there. Seen a lot of pool firsts in ZVP.
And so now he's getting the lings. Normally the Zealot comes in here and starts to drive the drones away from the natural. But as far as we can tell, unbeknownst to Movie... Okay, hold up. I got to talk about this. Putting the Zealot over here, you can put the probe and have the probe hit the drones through the mineral patches if the drones are in the right spot. It looks like he's actually controlling this well enough. Oh, he tried to drone drill him there.
Yeah. Look at that. He pops the Zealot up. He's trying to make it lose some attacks. Doesn't work out as well that time, but still he just deletes that Zealot quite quickly.
Now he's chasing this drone out over here. Again, we need to see when exactly the forge has gone down and if there'll be cannons up, because whenever you do this rush, if you're not completely ready, oh my god. Okay, so
That's going to be annoying.
this is one of the problems when you do a rush like this. If you try to get a Nexus really, really quickly, is that Lings can counterattack you, and this may be a day where we just see Movie losing to slow Lings.
Yeah, especially considering there's a hell of a lot on their way down right now, and I do not see anything in that wall and to stop them from getting in.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough probes or anything, and he's fine. Oh, he's going to be able to slip through.
Oh, my God, if he can get that cannon off Tasteless. Oh, that is going to be it, I think.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you do this build, and I think part of this was the hatchery placement that threw him off. Now, 2 Zealots are hitting drones, but eventually that will be picked off. On the other hand, I do not know if Protoss can stop this onslaught of Lings coming forward here.
He certainly cannot. Without a powered gateway, that is it for his units. He hasn't done enough damage with those Zealots, even though he did some.
Well, this is very straightforward for the Zerg. Now, the only thing that Protoss can do to try to recover is to try to get one cannon up. But while that's going on, the Zerg can eventually... Oh, no, I mean, I think this is basically over. I think we're going to see GG in a second here. Wow, Movie just getting outmaneuvered in these early game openings. GG.
That's too bad. He said he was practicing very hard for this overall, but both times holes in his defense while he's trying to do one gate pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
HyuN with the killer instinct, though. Sent those Lings right across. Did lose some drones because of it. Lost a lot of mining time, but realizing that if he gets in there before a cannon's up, man.
There's a lot of things to point out here. You know, when you watch a StarCraft 2 game, a lot of times the openers are so fine-tuned that if we see, for instance, like let's say a Reaper kill 2 drones, we're like, whoa, that's crazy. There are so many subtle things that are happening at the start of a Brood War game that a lot of times it's crazy how much you can get thrown off or just get caught off guard. You're having to juggle so many tasks at once.
Well, those Zerglings ending the movie's run so quickly, all that practice not paying off for him, unfortunately. We will be having another Zerg moving into the next round, but will it be HyuN or will it be Larva?
We're going to find out, guys. I don't know. All I know is that Movie is not able to survive early game PvZ. So that build, you do want to rush in there with the Zealot, but I think he was totally caught off guard by where the expansions were.
Was tricky, and I mean, it was a hatchery first build, so it was like he had more larvae to work with.
It's also funny because normally, no matter what, the Zealot at least gets to a critical point where it can hold some kind of ground and try to force the Zerg to stay back. But the fact that it had to go all the way to the main, the fact that the third base is, not the second base, which is normally where the third base is taken, is far away. There's not really much you could do to utilize those Zealots, and then the counterattack crushed him. We'll be right back, guys.